a triple feed, a quad feed and 2 turn-on kills. That is a great way to start off my Battlefront beta thoughts, my Battlefront beta review. I'm going to leave you to watch the rest of this ATST clip. By the way, they are really fun to use. So I'm going to leave you to watch the rest of this clip, and then I'm going to cut into a drop zone gameplay on the map Solus. But yeah, I managed to get into the Battlefront beta earlier. I managed to grab a code off of Twitter from a developer. I was really lucky. I've been playing Battlefront since Tuesday evening now, so I've probably played it for about 8 hours. So I'm in a position to give you my thoughts on the game. I know it's only a beta, but it's not really a beta when you think about it, because the game is like, it's barely a month away from its full release. So I'm going to judge the game purely on its gameplay mechanics. But before I do that, I just want to explain what angle I'm going to be approaching this review from. So I know a lot of people out there will probably talk about Battlefront in terms of Battlefield and how it compares to that. I'm not going to do that, just because this game is called Battlefront for a reason. I'm a massive Battlefront fan. I've played Battlefront 1, I've played Battlefront 2, played those 2 games for hours on end. I'm a massive fan of those 2 games. Those 2 games are probably one of my favourite games of all time. They really are. I'm a massive Battlefront fan, so I'm going to approach this Battlefront review from a Battlefront perspective and not from a Battlefield perspective. Before I get into my review of the beta, I just want to give you my thoughts about some of the surrounding issues about this game. Now, it doesn't really feel like a Battlefront game, it really doesn't. Especially because they haven't really included any of the game modes or any of the things that were included within the 2 Battlefront games. And please don't give me the excuse that this is a remake or this is a reboot, so they don't have to do that. That is just completely bullshit. If it's got Battlefront in the title, I expect to see certain things within that game, like Hero Assault, which they do have hero battles, but they haven't revealed anything about it. There's no prequel content, which is just completely stupid, so they're cutting off half of the game already. There's barely any planets compared to the last one. There's not even a Death Star map, and that is the only part of the franchise that they're focusing on. So you would think that they would include all of the iconic places that part of the franchise has, but they're not. Even Battlefront 2, which included prequel content, had a Death Star map. They're just cutting half of the game off already, and it really does leave a bad taste in my mouth. This game is not Battlefront. The only part that this game is Battlefront is the flipping name. There's no space battles, there's no galactic conquest. Now, space battles, there is Fighter Squadron, but what I would like to see is a mode similar to the space battle mode, where you have to destroy all of the parts of the ship, like the communications array, like the life support, like the engine coolants. I really did enjoy that game mode. I love just like going in as a Republic guy and then just going into the droids base, the CIS base, or I can't remember what it's called. It is CIS, isn't it? It's a long time since I have played Battlefront, but I just loved going in as one of the Republic guys, going into the CIS base and just robbing one of their ships. I just love doing that, and it's just a massive shame that that part of the game isn't included. So like, most of my time in Battlefront 2, I played the Space Battles game mode, and I've just played that Space Battle mode. It's just a massive shame how they're not including anything. The only part of the game that they are including from the last Battlefront game is Conquest, but even then they're changing it and they're making it worse, because now you can't just go up to any old command post and capture them. It's all linear based, so you go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, whereas before you could capture any command post on the map and you could flank You could flank the enemy team and you could capture one of their command posts at their spawn. It just left for more tactical things you could do within that conquest mode. Now it's all linear based. So that's why I'm saying that this game doesn't feel like a Battlefront game, because they're not including all of the things that made the Battlefront franchise great. There wouldn't be demand for a third game if the two previous Battlefront games weren't great, and those two previous Battlefront games were great because they included certain game modes like Conquest, where he could do what he wanted to do. It included all of the parts of the Star Wars franchise that everybody loves. Alright, the prequel content, not many people like that part of the franchise, but it gives more options for the players to be able to play in. So you could play on a map on Geonosis or Naboo. I could understand their decision to cut prequel content if there was a load of Force Awakens content, but we're already getting one map at this moment in time from The Force Awakens, and that is the Battle of Jakku. We're only getting one map, and I don't even think that's part of the film anyway. So I just don't understand why they cut the prequel content and only focused on the part of the franchise that they're focusing on. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not bothered about game modes like Hunt. I'm not bothered about game modes like Capture the Flag. What I am bothered about is that they're not included anything from the previous two Battlefront games. A reboot doesn't give you the excuse to not include anything from the two Battlefront games. They should have put in Conquest as it was in Battlefront 2. They should have included a space battle sort of mode, like I said before, where you have to destroy the massive ships. They should have included that part. They should have included a galactic conquest as well. They should have included something that pays homage to the previous two Battlefront games, but they're not. They are completely neglecting the Battlefront franchise, which is why this game doesn't feel like a Battlefront game, which is why this game is only Battlefront in the name, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just the end of my rant about the surrounding issues about the game. It's like we're only a month away, we're only getting 3 heroes revealed at this moment in time. It's just completely stupid. It really is completely stupid. But yeah, that's the end of my rant. I'm going to get a lot of comments disagree with me, but this is just how I feel. This is coming from somebody that played Hero Assault on Mos Eisley for hours. This is coming from somebody that earlier this year had a blast playing space battles with my mates. I've got videos up on my channel showing it off. So, you know, it really just pisses me off how DICE just completely neglected the two previous Battlefront games. Really does piss me off. So, yeah, let's just get on with my thoughts on the beta. The beta, I'm going to start off in the negatives just because I'm on a bit of a rant already. Let's just start off in the negatives. There's only 2 game modes, and you can only play on those 2 game modes on one map. So you can only play Walker Assault on Hoth, and you can play Drop Zone on Sullust, and you can only play the survival mission on Tatooine as well. I haven't played that yet. So yeah, that's a bit baffling. We're only a month away, or pretty much about 6 weeks away from the launch of Battlefront, and we can only play on one map, one game mode, or, you know, 2 game modes, but on one map on those 2 game modes. It's just, I know it's just a lack of options, which I guess comes back to what I've been talking about earlier. That last comment sums up the whole Battlefront game. This whole Battlefront game, a lack of options for the player. That just pretty much sums up this Battlefront game, because you can't play prequel content. You know, you can't choose to go as Obi-Wan Kenobi or General Grievous or Count Dooku or Anakin Skywalker, or, you know, you can't do that. So that pretty much sums up the whole game. But yeah, the beta, not enough content really, but I know it's only a beta, but we're like only a month away from the game. It's like Black Ops 3's beta. We had so many game modes on about 3 or 4 maps, and they released another map as well. So I'm hoping that EA and DICE will release more content for the beta for us to try out, like a new game mode possibly. I really want to try out Supremacy, which is Conquest within this game. I'm not a fan of the pickups as well, the power up pickups. Basically, in the previous two Battlefront games, if you saw an ATST on the map, you could run up to it and you could jump in on it and you can just control it, walk around in it and shoot people in it. But this time around you can't do that. You have to go around the map, search for these power up tokens or whatever they're called within this game, and that's how you get stuff like the ATST. I'm not a fan of the token system within this game. It doesn't really feel as realistic as the other Battlefront games. The other Battlefront games made you feel like you're part of a battle, but because in this game you're running around and picking up tokens, it just doesn't really feel realistic. I much prefer it if they just, had ATSTs like at the spawn and you could, jump in the ATST, or even an X-Wing if you're a rebel, or a TIE fighter if you're an Imperial guy. I think that would have been much better rather than the power-up system. And speaking of the power-up system, I'm really not a fan of how the heroes are allocated within the Walker Assault game mode. I'm hoping that this is just something within the Walker Assault game mode, but basically how heroes are allocated is that it's just a power-up on the map. It's just a random power-up on a massive map. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's like I only got the heroes twice. I got Luke Skywalker once, got Darth Vader once. Out of 8 hours, well, probably about 6 hours playing the Walker Assault game mode, I only got the heroes twice. That is just stupid. That is ridiculous. The heroes should have been allocated to the players on a random basis. That's how I feel like it should have been allocated. But maybe them doing it as a token, because there's so many people in the game mode, maybe that is the best way to do it. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of how the heroes are allocated. And speaking of heroes, I'm really not a fan of the heroes within this game. Really not. They have proper nerfed the heroes from Battlefront 2. It's like how the heroes work in Walker Assault is that you only get 100 seconds with the heroes, and if you get hit, then that time drops dramatically, so you don't really get 100 seconds at all. And what is also bad is that if you kill a person with your hero, your health doesn't regen like what it did within Battlefront 2. I'm really hoping that this is just a Walker Assault game mode issue. I'm hoping that this isn't an issue with the whole game. You should regen health as the hero. The whole point of being a hero is that you're more powerful than everybody else. You can go on an absolute tear, and you can tide the match into your team's favour. That's the whole point of having a hero. Otherwise, what is the point of having a hero then if you can't go around for about a couple of minutes, 3 or 4 minutes? It's like in Battlefront 2, you could just literally run around as a hero for as long as you wanted until you got ganged up on, and then that's it. But yeah, the heroes, the proper nerf the heroes for this game, it just makes them feel like they're just a kill streak and that's it. I'm not a fan of the heroes at all, really not. But yeah, I think that's it for the negatives. I'm not going to get a lot of people saying, Snuff, you're way too negative on this game. It's just how I feel about this game. I'm just giving you my honest opinions about this game. If this game was great, I'll come out and say that the game was great. I did it within my Splatoon review. Absolutely loved that game. I came out and said that the game was great because it is. Devil's Third, if a game has problems but I'm still having fun playing the game, I'll come out and say that, like what I did with Devil's Third. But if I don't like a game, I'll come out and say it, like with this game, like with Battlefront, like with the Black Ops 3 beta. So I'm hoping that you guys understand where I'm coming from. I'm a massive Battlefront fan. It doesn't really feel like Battlefront to me. So yeah, the Walker Assault game mode, going on to my last negative now before getting to my positives finally. It feels like the Walker Assault game mode is in favour of the Imperial side because they've got the ATST on the ground. The Rebels, they don't really have anything on the ground to combat that. Maybe X-Wings, all the fighters in the sky, maybe they should, they should actually combat the ATSTs. But I don't know. I'm kind of feel like the Rebels should have a vehicle on the ground, but maybe not actually, because you got the X-Wings. You got the other fighters for the Rebels as well. I think the Rebel side does have more ships than the Imperial side, so I guess that kind of balances it out. And my last negative is, those ships are really hard to control as well. That's just my problem with those ships. But let's get into the positives. And I know a lot of people will be talking about the graphics for this game, but the graphics for this game are really impressive. They really are stunning. Really do like how this game looks. And believe it or not, I actually do kind of have fun playing this game, even though it doesn't really feel like Battlefront. I'm just having fun running around in the Star Wars universe again. It's been way too long since a new Star Wars game has been released. I'm a massive Star Wars fan, so I'm just loving running around in the Star Wars universe again. And the gameplay is actually quite fun. It really is quite fun. But it just doesn't really feel like Battlefront to me. That's just where I'm coming from in this review. Hopefully you guys can understand that. So yeah, that's just pretty much all I've got to talk about for this video. I guess to summarise, this game looks great and all that, but once you get past the initial, oh my god, this game looks amazing, what else is there to, keep your attention on the game? And as a Battlefront fan, it just annoys me how they have cut off like most of the things that made the previous two Battlefront games great. Like I said before many times throughout this review, this game doesn't really feel like Battlefront to me. But from what I've played, the game that we do have right now, I think it is quite fun to play. Believe it or not, I know it hasn't really come across that well within this video about my thoughts about the game, but I'm having fun playing the game in terms of its general gameplay. They need to change the heroes. I think they need to change the hero allocation as well. And hopefully they will do that for the other game modes within the game. I'm hoping we don't see the 100-second heroes within the Supremacy game mode. That would be really disappointing. But from what I've played, this game is fun. Graphics are stunning. But I don't think this game should have been called Battlefront because it's not really a Battlefront game. That's just where I'm coming from within this review. Hopefully you can understand that. I'm not sure what you're watching right now. You probably are watching a Battlefront 2 gameplay. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. And please feel free to leave me your thoughts about the Battlefront beta in the comment section below about this game. I know a lot of people will disagree with me, and I'm glad that people do. You can, have your opinion on my channel. I'm not one of these YouTubers that, forces you to like what I like or to have the same opinion as what I have. I know a lot of people will disagree with me. Please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'm looking forward to debating about this game in the comments with you. So, yeah, that's just pretty much my thoughts on the Battlefront beta. My voice is gradually going. As soon as this video goes live, I'm going to be playing the Battlefront beta again. I probably will pick up this game. I probably will still buy this game just because I am a massive Star Wars fan. But I just don't feel like this game should have been called Battlefront, just because it doesn't really feel like a Battlefront game to me. But yeah, that's it from me. I've talked way too much now, and yeah, hopefully you guys aren't pissed off that much about what I've had to say about Battlefront. It's just how I feel about the game. It's just my honest thoughts about the game. Yeah, I'm just disappointed how they have cut off like most of the things that made the previous two Battlefront games really good for me. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to my channel and you want to see more Battlefront content, there will be more Battlefront beta gameplay coming up soon on my channel, including a few fails videos. I've got a Darth Vader once, like I said before. completely failed using him, so I probably will upload that, as well as a few videos showing me fail at using the different ships within the Battlefront beta. So yeah, that's it for this video. I've been rambling for far too long, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.